I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen you. Like, I haven't seen you since last year. Welcome back, boys and girls, to another month and another year of learning. We are in a new month. We are in a new year. We have plenty of topics to discuss, plenty of letters to learn, numbers and shapes. You know how this goes. Boys and girls, Happy New Year. Welcome as we continue to grow together. Let's go. Boys and girls, you already know that we are in a new year, but that also means we are in a brand new month. So let's review our months of the year and find out what month we are in now. Ready? Here we go. Repeat after me.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Now, what month are we in now? Well, we said goodbye to December. And this month we are saying hello to our friend January. So let's practice. When I say, what month is it? You say, it is January. Let's try together. What month is it? It is January. Excellent. One more time, boys and girls, but this time it is your turn. I say, I wonder, what month is it? And you say, great job, boys and girls. Excellent. Let's move on. The letters of the day are H, X, and E. It's review week, and you know that means we need to take a look back over all we've learned about the letters H, X, and E. Woo! Put on your thinking caps because I know it's going to be a lot. Ready? Let's go. The letter of the day is H. Now, before we go any further, we first have to learn what the letter H sounds like. Are you ready? Here we go. The letter H sounds like. Can you try that, boys and girls? Put your hand right in front of your mouth and blow your breath. That is the letter H. Now, let's take a look at some examples of words that use the sound. Ready? Here we go.
Hail. Hail is a word that begins with the sound. Hail is ice that falls from the sky. Boys and girls, if it is hailing outside, do not go out. Stay in. Otherwise, you might get hit. Ouch! And it will hurt. Hail can come in different sizes too. It can be as small as peas, or it can be as big as a tennis ball. This is why you stay inside. Hold. Hold is another word that begins with the h sound. Hold is when you put something in your hand or in both of your hands and you leave it there for a time. This woman is holding two plants. This person is holding a cup. And this baby is holding someone's finger. What can your hands hold? Hats. Hats is another word that begins with the h sound. There are many different types of hats, but we will learn about that later in today's lesson. Let's take a look at how we write the capital H. Now here you will see the capital and the lowercase h. These letters look different from each other, boys and girls. So when you are practicing your writing, make sure you follow the numbers in order. 1, 2, 3. You can pause the video here to practice, or you can come back when class is done.
The letter of the day is X. Now, before we go any further, we first have to learn what the letter X sounds like. Here we go. The letter X sounds like X, X, X. Can you try that? It sounds like a K and an S put together. Very good, boys and girls. Now let's take a look at some examples of words that use the X sound. Here we go.
This is a fox. Can you say fox? Excellent. Fox has the X sound at the end of the word. F-O-X. Mix. Can you say mix? Excellent. This little boy is mixing the ingredients for what they are making. It's when you stir everything together really well. Wax. W-A-X. Wax is another word that has the X sound at the end. Boys and girls, we can use wax to make candles. Do you have any candles at home? Let's take a look at how we write the capital letter X. Here you see the capital and the lowercase x. They look exactly the same. Make sure when you are practicing how to write the letter X, you follow the numbers in order. 1, 2. You can pause the video here to practice writing your letter X, or you can come back when class is finished.
The letter of the day is E. All right, so before we go any further, you know we need to learn what the letter E sounds like. Now, boys and girls, the letter E is a special letter. It is one of our vowels. And we know that vowels have two sounds. We know that they have a short sound and they have a long sound. So let's learn those sounds now. The letter E sounds like short E, eh, eh, eh. Can you say that? Eh, eh. Very good. And the long E sounds like E. Can you say that? Excellent job, boys and girls. Now let's take a look at some words that use the short and long E sounds. Here we go.
Eggs begin with the short E sound. Eh, eh, eggs. Boys and girls, there are so many different types of eggs. These are chicken eggs. We eat these for breakfast. Let's take a look at some more. Boys and girls, do you see the difference between the chicken eggs and the ostrich eggs? Notice how big they are. Would you eat an ostrich egg for breakfast? Did you know that even snakes lay eggs? Here you can see the baby snake coming out. Turtles work really hard to find the perfect spot to lay their eggs. And after some time passes, the baby turtles dig their way out and make their way to the water. Exercise. Exercise begins with the short E sound. Eh, eh, exercise. These kids are getting some great exercise at their local park by playing on the jungle gym. This little boy is getting some exercise by doing push-ups with his dad. Can you do a push-up? These two friends decided to get some exercise by doing sit-ups together. Boys and girls, can you do a sit-up? Eagle. Eagle is a word that begins with the long E sound. Eagle. An eagle is a very large and strong bird. On this picture of an eagle, you can clearly see its talons. The talons are like your fingernails or your toenails. They are long and sharp and help the eagle to pick up its food when it is flying. Watch as this eagle picks its food up right out of the water using its talons. What do you think it's eating for dinner? Eat. Eat is another word that begins with the long E sound. Eat. Boys and girls, we eat every single day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, even snacks. What do you like to eat? Do you like to eat pancakes? Pizza? Bacon and eggs? Chicken wings? Fruits and vegetables? This is how we write the capital E. Here you see the capital and the lowercase e. These letters look very different from each other, boys and girls. So when you practice, make sure you follow the numbers in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pause the video here to practice writing your capital and lowercase e, or you can come back when class is over.
I am so proud of you. That was a lot of information you learned this month. You learned new letter sounds, words that use those letter sounds. You even learned how to write new letters. Boys and girls, that was amazing, and I am so proud of you. As we prepare to move on to new letters, don't forget to spend some time practicing these letters, okay? Keep up the great work. Let's move on. Have you ever heard of a man named Martin Luther King Jr.? Well, this man was very, very special to the African American community. Boys and girls, I'm so glad you showed up this week because we are going to learn about him together. Come with me. Let's go.
This is Martin Luther King, and we are going to learn a little bit about his life and story today. Martin was married to a woman named Coretta, and together they had a family of 4 children. Here they all are together in one picture. Martin was also a preacher at his church, which means he spent time telling people about God. Even though Martin really loved preaching, there were things happening in America that Martin did not like. There were laws or rules in place that told black people where they could and could not go. This swimming pool was a swimming pool for white people only. Black kids and families could not go here on a hot summer's day. There were drinking fountains we could not use. There were some for white people only and some for black people or colored people only. There were even restaurants that we could and could not eat at. The rules were so bad, boys and girls, that even children got involved to try to change the rules. Here you see some children sitting at a lunch counter. They are sitting here in a form of protest, which means they are standing up against the bad laws and rules. Martin put together all kinds of protests. There were marches and speeches and sit-ins at more lunch counters and restaurants. And many people joined Martin in the fight for equal justice. They fought for fair schools so that black kids could go to schools with white children. They fought for restaurants and swimming pools and jobs. Martin was not afraid to speak to thousands of people, even in Washington, D.C. This is where he gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. This speech talked about all the big dreams he had for America that included the freedoms for Black people. Look at all those people. Do you think you could give a speech in front of all those people, boys and girls? They fought so long and so hard that eventually the president decided to make some changes. Do you see Martin in this picture behind the president? Martin did a very hard thing, but he also did a very brave thing. He knew things should be better for Black people in America, and he decided to fight for them. Boys and girls, Martin Luther King Jr. died before he could see all of his dreams come true. But that's where we come in. We celebrate Martin every third Monday in January every single year. And we all commit ourselves to making this world better, not just for Black people, but for all people. And even though you are little, just like those children, you too can fight and stand up for the right thing.
All right, boys and girls, excellent job listening and learning. And now I hope you know a little bit about Martin Luther King Jr. and why he is so important. I hope you spend some time to celebrate him this month. Keep up the great work, boys and girls. Let's move on. Boys and girls, how do we know when it is time for Christmas or Easter? Or how do we know when it's your birthday? Boys and girls, there are months in a year, and we have to know them so that we know when holidays come around, or even when birthdays come around, or special celebrations. I'm so glad you came today because you and I are going to learn all about the months of the year. Here we go.
January. January is the first month of every year. There are 12 months altogether. Let's keep going. February. March. April. May. June. July. August. September. October. November. December. December is the last month of the year. It is month number 12.
All right, boys and girls, I have another song that I hope will help you remember and practice the months of the year. Are you ready? Here we go. It goes like this. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. One more time. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Boys and girls, feel free to use this song anytime you want to practice the months of the year. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. We have just gone over the months of the year. Now, we do this every time we have class. We go over the months of the year, and we even talk about what month it is right now. But now you understand that all of those months run together and they mean something. Boys and girls, don't forget to keep practicing your months of the year any and every time you can. Great job, boys and girls. Let's move on. The shape of the month is rectangle. Now, before we move on, we need to learn how to spell the word rectangle. That's a pretty big word, but we can do it. Here we go. Ready? Rectangle. R E C T A N G L E. Rectangle. Now, what is a rectangle? Well, a rectangle is another shape you will see everywhere, not just in math. A rectangle is special because it has 4 sides. But all 4 sides are not the same size. There are 2 small sides and there are 2 long sides. Let's take a look at some examples of things that are rectangles. Here we go.
Legos. Your Legos may come in different shapes, but I know for sure there are some rectangles in there. Can you find the long sides and the short sides in these rectangle Legos? Bricks. Bricks are also in the shape of rectangles. We use bricks to build many different types of buildings. We use them to build schools, homes, or even the very stores where we shop. Keep your eyes open and see if you can find some bricks in your neighborhood. We can even find rectangles in our chocolate and candies. Boys and girls, this candy bar has been split or broken into smaller pieces. And look, the pieces are in the shape of rectangles. The next time you eat a chocolate bar, see what shape it is in. Can you break it into rectangles? Doors. Doors are also shaped like rectangles. These 3 doors all are shaped like rectangles. They have 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Can you point them out? What shape is your door? Is it a rectangle too? This is how we draw a rectangle. Follow the lines around. You will see that there are 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you identify long side, short side, long side, short side? I'm sure you can. Some books can be in the shape of a rectangle too. They have 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Can you find the long and short sides on this book? Do you have any books that are in the shape of a rectangle?
Awesome job, boys and girls. Now you know what a rectangle looks like. You know how to spell the word rectangle, and you even know some examples of things that are in the shape of a rectangle. I want you to keep your eyes open this month and see how many more examples you can find of things that are shaped like a rectangle. I know you'll do a great job. Let's move on. The color of the month is black and white. That's right, boys and girls. We have 2 colors we are studying this month. But before we do anything with those colors, we first have to find out, how do we even spell black and white? Here we go. First up, black. B-L-A-C-K. Black. And white. W-H-I-T-E. White. Now, boys and girls, these colors can stand by themselves. We can find things that are just black and just white, or we can find things that are black and white together. We're going to do both. So let's take a look at some examples of things that are black, some things that are white, and some things that are black and white. Here we go.
Paper is white. Paper can come in lots and lots of different colors, boys and girls, but when we are at school, most of the time our paper will be white. Sometimes it will be plain paper with no lines, and sometimes it will be paper with lines. Remote control. Most of the time, our remote controls are black with all different color buttons. There might be red buttons, gray or white buttons, and even green, yellow, blue buttons. What color is your remote? Does it have different color buttons? A skunk is an animal that is both black and white. A skunk walks around minding its business, but if you scare it, it will spray a stinky, stinky smell at you, and it is really hard to wash off. So if you see a skunk, leave it be. Zebras are black and white too. Now, what do you think, boys and girls? Do you think they are white with black stripes? Or do you think they are black with white stripes? Even some cows are black and white. Have you ever seen a cow? Do you know what we get from cows? Milk.
Well, now you know a little bit more about the colors black and white, and you know some examples of things that are black, white, and black and white together. Boys and girls, keep your list growing all month long and keep those eyes open to see what you find. What can you find that is black, white, and can you find anything that is black and white together? I think you can do it. I believe in you. Great job, boys and girls. Let's move on. The numbers of the day are 0, 1, and 2. It's review week, and you know that means we need to take a look back at all we have learned about the numbers 0, 1, and 2. Here we go. The number of the day is 0. Now, before we go any further, we need to first figure out how to spell the number 0. Here we go. 0. Z-E-R-O. Zero. Now, what does 0 mean, boys and girls? 0 means nothing. There is nothing there if you have 0 of something. Let's take a look.
I see one puppy on this page. But how many cats do you see on this page? That's right. There are 0 cats on this page. There are none. I see one dog and one piece of candy on this page. But how many butterflies do you see? That's right. If you said 0 butterflies, you are correct. There are no butterflies here for us to count. Okay, boys and girls, now it's your turn to count. How many puppies do you see on this page? Yep, there is only one. How many pieces of candy do you see on this page? That's right, there are 2 pieces of candy. But can you tell me how many zebras are on this page? That's right, there are 0 zebras on this page. Great job, boys and girls.
Well, this was a pretty easy number to learn. You know what the number 0 looks like. You know how to spell the number 0. And you also know that when counting to 0, there's nothing to count. Great job, boys and girls. The number of the day is 1. Now, before we go any further, you and I need to figure out how to spell the number 1. Here we go. 1. O-N-E. 1. Now, what does it mean when you have one of something? First, you had 0, there was none. But next, you only have 1. Let's see. I have 1 phone. Oh, I have 1 remote. I have 1 marker. Let's take a look at some other examples of counting to the number 1. Don't forget to count out loud, boys and girls. Here we go.
How many doors do you see on the front of this house? That's right. If you said one door, you are right. Good job, boys and girls. How many people are eating lunch in this office? That's right. If you said one, you are correct again. Good job. How many zebras do you see standing in the grass? That's right. Correct again, boys and girls. There is one zebra standing in the grass.
Well, that was another easy number for you. You know what the number one looks like. You know how to spell the number one. And you even know how to count up to one. Boys and girls, don't forget to keep practicing this skill. I know you can do it. Let's move on. Number of the day is 2. All right, now before we go any further, you and I need to learn how to spell the number 2. Ready? 2. T W O. 2. Now, what does it mean when you have 2 of something? You can even use your fingers to find out. 1, 2. Boys and girls, let's look at some examples of counting all the way up to the number 2. Don't forget to count out loud. Here we go.
Boys and girls, how many ducks do you see in this picture? Make sure you use your counting finger and count out loud. How many phones do you see in this picture? Say the numbers out loud. How many flowers do you see in this picture? How many balloons do you see floating up, up, up into the blue sky?
Excellent job. You now know what the number 2 looks like. You know how to spell the number 2. And you know how to count to the number 2. Boys and girls, keep practicing these skills each and every day. I know you'll do a great job. Let's move on. Well, you certainly learned a lot about numbers this month, boys and girls. The numbers 0, 1, and 2. You learned so much: how to count, how to identify, boys and girls, how to spell. My goodness. Keep up the amazing practice, boys and girls. I know you'll do a great job. Let's move on. You have done a wonderful job with class today, boys and girls. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's right. I am so proud of how hard you are working each and every time you choose to show up for class with me. I want you to keep practicing all of your skills, and then I want you to come right back next week and join me so that we can learn even more things together and we can grow bigger together. Keep up the great work, boys and girls. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.